Her eyes gave it away, not words, not movements. Just the way she looked at me across the kitchen table. A look too careful, too measured. She laughed at something trivial, burnt toast I think, but it was hollow, laughter without air. The sound lingered in the space between us, sharp as a blade I couldn't yet see. Then the phone buzzed. She moved too fast to grab it, screen tilted away from me. Reflex, not habit. My mind didn't jump to suspicion, it calculated. Patterns, anomalies, inconsistencies. I'd spent 20 years dissecting men who thought they could hide secrets inside silence. None of them succeeded. She excused herself, stepping into the hallway, lowering her voice. I stayed at the table, eyes on the untouched toast. Every nerve calm, every muscle still. But my pulse, that betrayed me. It pounded in my ears like a war drum. I didn't follow her. I didn't need to. In that moment, I knew something had shifted. The ground beneath my life tilted, just slightly, just enough for the balance to fail. That night, I studied her without letting her know. The way she clutched her phone even in sleep, screen down always. The way her messages came at odd hours, vibrations muffled under pillows. The way she smiled when she thought no one was watching. Not at me, never at me. For days I tried to rationalize. She was tired, she was stressed, she was anything but what my mind already suspected. But the human body doesn't lie, not when you know how to read it. Tiny tells, micro movements, the hesitations between words. I asked myself the questions I once used on prisoners. What is she protecting? Who is she afraid of losing? The silence inside me was heavier than her answers. And then came the smallest cut, the detail that confirmed my dread. A receipt in her purse. Dinner for two. A place we'd never been. 2 glasses of wine, 1 red, 1 white. I didn't confront her. I folded the receipt back where it belonged. Her betrayal wasn't a storm. It was a slow leak in the hull of a ship. Quiet, inevitable, deadly. I turned to the tools I trusted most: discipline, patience, control. First, the phone records. A simple request, routed through old contacts who still owed me favors. Numbers, timestamps, patterns emerging like cracks in glass. A name repeated, a number always hidden. I memorized it before I burned the paper. Next, DNA, not of her, of my daughter. A strand of hair from her brush, swab from a water bottle. Sent discreetly to a lab I trusted more than any hospital. I told myself it was paranoia, that the results would return, and I'd laugh at my own suspicion. But laughter had left my bones a long time ago. I watched her more closely, every detail catalogued. Her smiles didn't reach her eyes. Her texts came with sudden urgency. She left the room to breathe. She touched her neck often, as if hiding something under her skin. The nights were the worst. Lying beside her, breathing the same air, knowing she was already somewhere else. My face remained calm, my hands steady. Inside, I felt the quiet hum of violence. Not outward, not against her, but against the illusion of a life I thought was real. Mine. The waiting became a knife. I let it cut me, silently, until the envelope arrived. The lab results were clear, irrefutable. My daughter, 16 years of laughter, scraped knees, whispered secrets, was not mine. Blood doesn't lie. It marks you, or erases you. I held the report in my hands, the weight of it heavier than any weapon I'd carried. That night I placed it on the table between us. She looked at it, then at me. Her face drained of color. Her lips parted, but no sound came. I didn't speak. I let silence strangle her. Her hands trembled as she opened it. Line by line, the truth bled into her eyes. She pressed her palm to her mouth as if she could hold the confession inside. Tears came. Explanations followed. Years of excuses condensed into choked words. I listened. cold, detached. Not once did I raise my voice. Not once did I move toward her, because I already knew, and she knew I knew. I slid my phone across the table. On the screen, the number she'd been calling, saved under another name. I didn't have to tell her I'd traced it. She recognized it instantly. Her eyes widened, her breath hitched. She tried. I cut her off with silence. I leaned forward just enough for her to feel the weight of my composure. I trained men to break under pressure. Do you know how? Her tears blurred her vision. She shook her head. Not by shouting, not by force, by letting them watch their lies collapse on their own. I stood, collected the report, left it in her trembling hands. Then I walked out the door. No threats, no promises, just absence. Clean, surgical, irreversible. The night air was sharp, cold, honest. I didn't feel rage, not anymore. Rage is messy, consuming. This was cleaner. I thought of my daughter, hers, not mine. I would still protect her, still guide her, because betrayal doesn't erase love, it only erases illusions. As for her, she would live every day with the silence I left behind, with the weight of truth pressing down on her chest, making it hard to breathe. That was the only revenge I needed. I lit a cigarette, the flame trembling just once before holding steady. Inhale, exhale. The smoke rose, the past with it. And in the quiet, final clarity, I realized I hadn't lost a family. I had shed a lie. Final line. Sometimes the cruelest thing you can do is leave someone alone with the truth.